Hi guys, welcome to Wrestling Retrospective. In this video I will be reviewing AEW's Full Gear. So first up we had Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus in a steel cage match. I thought this was like an emotional roller coaster type match, but still absolutely fantastic. I think the only issue I really had with it was Luchasaurus doing too much Kane and Undertaker characterisms. Like the sitting up and the chokeslam stuff. I know she uses chokeslam as his move, but I don't know, when I was watching it all I thought was Kane and Undertaker quite type stuff. I thought it was a really good way to start off the pay-per-view, and I think the quality of wrestling stayed consistent throughout the pay-per-view, which I really enjoyed. It's a great story, but I'm hoping it takes like a back seat now. I know they want to do something between Christian and Jungle Boy, but I think honestly they're going to have to hold that off until Christian has recovered from his injury. I think a good idea would be to put the TNT title on Jungle Boy, and then when Christian's better they can probably do a series of matches over the TNT Championship. I think that'd be really good, not only for the title but as a story itself. But yeah, as a whole, really enjoyed this one. Not sure where Luchasaurus will go from here, but for Jungle Boy I'm sure you can do more or less anything next door, and now everyone will enjoy it. I said maybe looking towards the TNT Championship would be really good. But yeah, I'm very happy with this one. Following that, we had Death Triangle defending the Trios Championships against the Elite. What a moment it was having the Elite return, and the way they did it with the new theme, everything like that. Really enjoyed it. And overall, I definitely thought it was match of the night, in my opinion. It was like a classic. I'm not sure how I feel about them doing a best of 7 series on Dynamites for the next few weeks. But overall, this match will probably top them on the shows anyway. I thought it was a great finish, having Phoenix cheat to win, but feeling really guilty about it afterwards. I'm glad it's not just a full-blown heel turn, but the fact that Phoenix is kind of the good guy within Penta and Pac being more heel, I quite enjoy. I'm interested to see how that dynamic carries on. And for me, I thought this was a big win for Death Triangle. I think I definitely had the Elite to retain the championships, and I think a lot of people did as well. So to have the kind of swerve almost of having the Death Triangle get the win is really good for them as a team, and good overall. I'm glad that the Elite aren't coming back and just kind of taking over the Trios tag division. But yeah, as I said, looking forward to the best of 7 series, even though I'm not particularly that bothered about it, just because I've seen the match over and over and over again. But there's been some successful 7 series as before. But yeah, overall, really happy with the match, and as I said, match of the night, 100%. From the night with Jade Cargill defending the TBS Championship against Nyla Rose. As an entrance, Vicky Guerrero coming out with Rhea Ripley merch was very interesting. I'm surprised that she was allowed to do that. The match itself was decent. Didn't really think much of it. As I say, I'm hoping the feud will be over after this. I'm going to move on to something else with Jade. It seemed as though Nyla wasn't really much of a threat going in. She was just stealing the title. It felt like more of a comedy angle than it did anything else. I definitely didn't take it seriously, and I know that there are people that would agree with me saying that. But yeah, hopefully Jade's going to move on to more interesting feuds. Not sure what Nyla's going to do from here. I know she's been kind of lost in the shuffle before this, so I'm not surprised if she goes back to being that way. But yeah, not much else to say about this one other than that. But yeah, decent match. Glad that Jade Cargill's still champion. Next up was the Fatal 4-Way match between Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli and Sammy Guevara for the Ring of Honor World Championship. I really enjoyed this match, to be fair. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to anyway. Sammy Guevara really impressed me throughout the match, and the story between him and Jericho was really good. There was genuine points where I thought Guevara and Danielson were going to win the match. I said I definitely saw Guevara as an MVP for this one, but Jericho gets away with the win, which I'm actually happy about. I've been enjoying this kind of storyline with Chris Jericho defeating former champions of Ring of Honor. I've discovered guys like Dalton Castle and Bandito just by watching him face them. They've been really good on Dynamite, something really different for Chris Jericho to do. I've got a feeling though at Final Battle he might lose the championship to Castagnoli, but if not I'll be happy still, just to see these matches continue. But yeah, I said one of the better matches of the pay-per-view itself, and I would quite like to see Ring of Honor become its own thing, and I think I'd watch it. I don't think I'd just, because I haven't watched Ring of Honor before it came up in AEW stuff, but I think I'd definitely give it a watch to see what it was like. But yeah, overall, really good match. Glad Jericho's still champion. Following that, we had Dr. Britt Baker Dummer against Saraya. I don't know, I still don't know how to say it. But yeah, I thought it was a really good match. Glad to see Saraya in the ring after so long. You know, I remember when she debuted on the main roster in WWE, and she generally impressed me from that. I was a big fan of hers when she was Divas champion, everything like that. So I was very happy to see her. Having Britt Baker as her first opponent is more or less perfect. I think having a safe pair of hands like Britt, was a great idea. And also there was some stuff on Twitter, I think it was, that set that up almost indefinitely. But yeah, again, a huge moment for the pay-per-view, having Saraya come back. Very interested to see what Saraya does next. Apparently she's on although we've heard she's only going to wrestle every few months, which makes sense, make sure she's fully alright after a neck injury. As for Baker, I think she's going to go into a feud. I'm not sure where her feud's going to go, but I think she will end up feuding with Jamie Hayter at some point. And watching how that develops as a kind of Batista and Triple H type ordeal. But the match itself, really good, really happy with it. I did worry when Britt hit the curb stomp about her neck, but they didn't really play it off as much, which I was happy about. It meant they all went okay. So yeah, overall, great match. Happy that Saraya's back. Interested to see what each of them are on to next. Following that, we had the TNT Championship Triple Threat match between Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow. I thought this match was just alright. I didn't really enjoy it that much compared to everything else on the card. I was happy with the fact that Samoa Joe got the win. I didn't even factor him in as a winner, just due to the fact that he's already got the Ring of Honor Television Championship. But yeah, very happy with this one. Out of the three, I would have preferred Joe to win personally, as I'm a bigger fan of him. I'm not really much of a fan of Powerhouse Hobbs. And Wardlow I was, but he's kind of dropped off in my opinion. He's kind of lost all the momentum he had back at All Out. But yeah, as I said, it was just okay. Not really much else to say on that one. Next up, we had the tag team match between Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal taking on Sting and Darby Allin. I thought this was a really fun match. The no disqualification factor helped. I'm not sure whether they announced that before time or not, but I think it really helped in the case of it just being one big brawl instead of kind of being a classic tag team match. Definitely with Sting and Jarrett's age, I think that kind of helped as well. I think in my opinion, Sting is probably the craziest 50-plus-year-old in the world for jumping off the stage. He jumped off a banister or something. But yeah, absolutely mental. I think it's why everyone seems to really love Sting still, with him just doing absolutely mental stuff all the time. But yeah, the match was better than I thought it was going to be. I did write it off quite quickly. I wasn't really bothered about Jeff Jarrett and stuff like that. But no, it was really good, better than I expected. I'm curious to see kind of what I would quite like to see is a kind of TNA takeover of AEW. I know they've already got the Ring of Honor stuff, but I think having a group, Lethal and Dutt and Jarrett, and then maybe adding Motor City Machine Guns in and stuff like that, I think it'd be really cool. The kind of invasion, but on a lower scale. As for Sting and Darby Allin, I'm not sure where they go next. I know Darby kind of wants to do his own thing, and that's what he suggested. Maybe they'll tear them apart, and maybe have Darby become Sting's last match. I know he suggested that he won't be doing this much longer, which doesn't surprise me at all. But yeah, as a match better than I thought it was. Very interested to see what is next for these two teams though. Next up, we have Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter for the Women's World Championship, which Jamie Hayter won. I was very happy about this. I'm a massive fan of Jamie Hayter, have been since she pretty much debuted. So yeah, very happy to see her as the new Women's Champion. I thought it was a really good match. I was on the edge of my seat throughout. I think the bias towards wanting Jamie to win the entire time probably helped with that one. The neighbours probably hated me because I cheered like fuck when she won. And it was like 4 AM here when that happened, so that probably wasn't great. But yeah, really happy with this one. The match was great. And yeah, probably not much else to say about that one. All positives, no complaints really. I think it works having Britt Baker and Rebel try and help her win, even though she didn't want it. I think it made perfect sense that they would. And she didn't seem to be upset about it, like they're showing some kind of cracks. I know they were on Dynamite when Brie interrupted her. But yeah, I think personally the better woman one. I didn't really enjoy Tony's time as champion, I felt like it was very boring in my opinion. So yeah, I'm hoping for a better reign out of Jamie Hayter, and I'm looking forward to see where it goes. The penultimate match of the night was the AEW World Tag Team Championships, where the Acclaim defeated Swerve and Glory. I think out of all three matches, the second one was probably the better of the three. I did enjoy this one. It was a good match. I think the Acclaimed as well as Jamie Hayter are the two most over things in the company right now. Like, everyone is enjoying it. I thought there was times where Lee and Strickland were going to win, but then they had the complete breakup of it. It made perfect sense for Keith Lee to walk out and Swerve. You know, with Keith wanting to stay face, but Swerve wanting to cheat and kind of be more of a heel. It made perfect sense why they would kind of split them up. I would have laughed if Keith Lee walked out and Swerve, but then Swerve won the titles. But I didn't think that was ever going to happen. I just thought it would have been quite funny if it had happened. I think for the Acclaim next, it makes sense for them to face FTR. At least, you know, I think in everyone's mind it makes sense because they've been the more contenders for almost half the year now, and maybe even longer. I'm not sure. But it's a match that people have been waiting to happen. But I feel like they've been wanting to stretch out the Acclaim's title reign, so then FTR can take their titles. I think that's what we're setting up for anyway. And I think it makes sense for FTR to win the titles and have them win all of them. You know, so the AEW, Ring of Honor, IWGP, and the AAA World Tag Team Championships. And they are by far the best tag team on the roster, even though they're not champions. So I'm really looking forward to see that match when it happens, whenever it happens. As for Swerve and Glory, I think they're going to feud together. I think that's quite straightforward. I think they're going to have a big blow match between Keith and Swerve. But as I said, the match itself was really good. Very happy the Acclaimed got the win and retained. I'm looking forward to the two feuds that might result of this. And finally, we had the AEW World Championship match where MJF defeated Jon Moxley to become the new AEW champion. I've not really got a lot to say about this one. I was surprised. Well, I would say I was surprised. I'm surprised the way they did the regal turn. It doesn't surprise me that it happened. I think it made sense. You know, watching other YouTube channels based on wrestling, they kind of saw this coming as well. And I think MJF is going to make a great world champion. I think he's going to be a very long. It wouldn't surprise me if he kept it all the way until his contract came up in 2024 and do like a full year almost as champion. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the matches he's going to have. We know now that his first start defense will be against Ricky Starks, which I think will be a great match, providing that Ricky Starks isn't too battered afterwards. But yeah, as I said, match went pretty much exactly how I expected it to go between these two. It was a lot better than their first match they had on pay-per-view. I think with Moxley wanting to be more of a brawler and MJF wanting to play more mind games, again, it made perfect sense and went exactly how I expected it to go. I'm looking forward to see the relationship between William Regal and MJF kind of start properly, and then how it carries on into matches, and whether he'll continue to cheat to win, or whether it'll be kind of a bit of babyface and heelish tactics from him. But overall, very happy that MJF is champion. Respect to Moxley for keeping the company going on his back for the last few months while this whole CM Punk and the Elite things happened. But yeah, overall, really happy with this one, and looking forward to seeing MJF as world champion. So those were my thoughts and opinions on Full Gear 2022. Please comment down below what your thoughts were of the pay-per-view itself, and of course like the video, subscribe, put notification bell, all that other shtick. Sorry this video was really late, almost 2 weeks late, but yeah, as I said in the last video, I've had trouble with audio and I've been changing some stuff around background wise, and soon all this blank area that you can see where the logo is will all be filled in at some point. But yeah, thank you for watching the video, and I will see you guys later on.